Hello parents, this is a tutorial on how you can set up an Access account for you in Powerschool. This way you can see your children's grades, their attendance, and if they owe any school fees. All of this helpful information is right in Powerschool. It's our student management system. We're going to begin on Edgemont's website, so if you go to edgemonteagles.com, you'll see the website here, and on the left you'll see a link that says Powerschool. When you click on this link, it will take you to the parent sign-in page. There's another way to get to this link, which if you go to the district website, which is ifschools.org, over on the right-hand side, under Quick Links, you'll see the first two links relate to Powerschool. The first is how to create a Powerschool account. The second is Powerschool login or create an account. So this first link here, how to create a Powerschool account, is a great resource. If you click on that, it will bring a document that shows you just the information you'll need to set up the account. You need your student's name, the student ID, and the student birth date. And then it also gives you a step-by-step process, so if you want to use that to log in, that's one way that you'd be able to create that account. You only need to create an account one time as a parent. After that account has been created, you won't need to do that anymore. You can just log in. So we're going to go back to the district website, and I'll show you. If you click on Powerschool login or create an account, it goes to the same parent sign-in page. So that's where you'll begin to set up your account. This is the parent sign-in page. If you click at the first, you just fill out the information. Our first name is going to be Ellie. Our last name is going to be Elephant. And then the email that we'll use, I'll just use my email so that there's something in that field. And then the desired username. This is a place that you get to choose the username that you want when you log in. We're just going to use Ellie Elephant. And then the password, you need to use at least 6 characters long. I'm just going to put Edgemont in as the password since this is a trial run. And then I'm going to show you, this is the next part where you link the students to you. If you have multiple children in the school district, you can put them all under the same account. So the first one we have is Eddie the Eagle. So our student's name is Eddie Eagle. And then the Access ID, this is where it gets a little confusing to some parents. The Access ID, it starts with a P for parent access. So you have a P and then the first 4 letters of the last name, a period, and the first 4 letters of the first name, and then the last 3 digits of the student ID. So for Eddie, we have a P and then EAGL, period, EDDI, and then his student ID is 46623. So it's just going to be the 623. His access password is going to be his birthday, which we made up. It's 0812, just the month and the day, and then his entire student ID, which is 46623. I'll choose the relationship that I have with Eddie, or that Ellie has with Eddie, and that's his mother. We'll use our second student, Ginger the giraffe. And the access ID for her is P for parent, and then GIRA, period, GING. And then her student access number, the last 3 digits, is 624. And then the access password will be her month of birth, her day of birth, and then her whole student ID, which is 46624. The relationship that Ellie has is the mother. And then the last student that we'll put in today is Lawrence the lion. Access ID again starts with P for parent. And then the last the first 4 letters of the last name, a dot or period, and then the first 4 letters of the first name, and then the last 3 digits of the student ID. Now I know this is confusing, but you only have to do this one time. Then you have your access password, which is going to be the month of Lawrence's birth, the day of the month that is birth, and then the whole student ID 46625. Again, you choose the relationship that Ellie has or that you have with the student, And once you've got all of that information in, you can double check it, make sure everything's filled out, and then you come down here and you click enter. Once you click enter, you'll see that it takes you back to the parent sign-in page. And here on the parent sign-in page, you can log back in. So we'll go ahead and do LE Edgemont, and then our password we used was Edgemont, and we'll log in. We don't want to remember the password, so we can click that there. And now this will give you access to all of your students' grades as they are entered in Powerschool and their attendance. The first screen is grades and attendance. We don't have any information in here for our characters, but if we did, it would show up here. So you'd see the attendance here for last week or this week, and then also if there's any tardies or anything there. The course part, right underneath here, you would see a letter grade, and it would drop down and show you the classes and what they're receiving in their class. This is a really great asset for you to be able to keep up with your students' work to see if there's any missing work or anything like that. So if you click on that letter grade, it will give you a breakdown of all of the assignments that the student's been given in the class. So that's a great resource there. Of course, you can click on the grade history. You'd be able to see the course names and the history of the grades, and attendance history, so you can see any absences or tardies that your students had. The next really important tab, I think, is this email notification. This is a great resource for parents. You can tell Powerschool to email you on a weekly basis, and it'll give you an update of all your students' grades if you would like. So if you click Summary of Current Grades and Attendance, you'll need to check that. It'll be unchecked at first. And then you could also check Detailed Report showing assignment scores for each class. That will give you those two reports. You can choose to receive an attendance report, whatever you'd like, through email. How often do you want to receive it? You can select. You don't ever want to receive it every week, every 2 weeks, every month, or even every day if you wanted to get an email every day. So you could put weekly. Your email address will show up here first. If you want to add additional emails, for example, maybe your spouse would like to see the grades as well, you could put their email in here and it will send the email to you and to your spouse. You can select apply the same settings to all your students, so you'll get an email for all of your students. And then if you want to, you could tell it to send it right now as well. So if you ever want those reports emailed to you, you can just go in and do it right then. But this gives you Eddie, Ginger, and Lawrence. You see they're all the same here because I've chosen to apply settings to all of your students. And then you click Submit, and all those settings are there. It says that changes were saved. This Balance tab on the left will also show you if your students owe any school fees or what funds are available here with their meals and the transactions. So there's a lot of great information here in Powerschool once you get this set up. One other thing that I wanted to make sure I tell you about in this tutorial, if you look back on that document that was on the district website, you'll see this code DWSM. If you have a smartphone, you can go to the App Store and download Powerschool app. And this is a phenomenal app. You only have to log in one time. Once you've created all of this information that you just created through the video, then you can go in, download this application, you select, or you log in, and once you log in, that information is all right there at your fingertips as far as grades. If the grade's gone up, it turns green. If it goes down, it turns red. But it also shows you individual assignments. All of that information now can be just right at the touch of your finger. So it's a great resource, and Powerschool's come a long way. I'll do another tutorial on how the app works, and I'll be able to show you just how user-friendly that application is. So keep an eye out for that video as well.